So let's talk about a PC build that's excellent for both 1440p and also 4K gaming for the price of $1,300, which is actually insane considering the GPU prices of these last couple of years, but right now they are better than ever, and that's why I bring you this video. I will leave all of these components down below in the description, and if you want to buy a Prebuilt PC instead, you will have my video about the best gaming PCs of July in the top right of the screen, but also you will have Prebuilt gaming PCs for every budget down below in the description as well. With that being said, let's start with this one. Now for the CPU, I picked the i5-12400F. Remember that we are talking about gaming, so the F is going to be enough. If you're really into content creation, then I would recommend you spending an extra $40 to get the 12400 non-F version, which includes the iGPU that is going to help you out in applications like Premiere Pro. But if you're just for gaming, the i5-12400F is all that you're going to need, even for 4K gaming. But this is actually my favorite gaming PC for 1440p high refresh rate gaming. Then for the CPU cooler, I went with the ID Cooling 214XT. It's going to keep the temperatures cool but also a more quiet experience, and on top of that you get some RGB. Now if you want this whole PC to have more RGB, then you will need to upgrade the RAM that I will talk about in a second. But before that, let's talk about the motherboard, the MSI Mac B660 Tomahawk Wi-Fi DDR4 motherboard. I decided not to go with DDR5. I think it's too expensive right now and it doesn't give you any extra performance, so DDR4 is going to be fine. This motherboard is one of the best B660 options out there. It also has Wi-Fi included, great audio, and for gaming overall is going to work great. Now if you're a content creation, then you should consider the T690, but for gaming this one is way more than enough. Then for the memory kit, I went with the TEAMGROUP T-Force 16 gigs of RAM 2x8 DDR4 3200MHz CL16 memory. Once again, it's going to be enough, and I don't recommend you upgrading to 3600MHz CL18 memory. So if you're going to upgrade the RAM, I recommend you going with at least 3600MHz and CL16 memory, not CL18. Then for the storage, I went with the Samsung 980 1TB of M.2 NVMe SSD. This is standard for gaming nowadays. You may need an extra SSD depending on the games that you want to play or if you want to do content creation, but for most people 1TB is the standard and it's going to be enough. And now for the most important part of this build, because it's a gaming PC build, we have the graphics card. I decided to go with the Radeon RX 6800. It has 16 gigs of VRAM. It's one of the best, if not the best, GPU on the market right now in terms of price to performance. For a similar price, you can get the RTX 3070 if you want a graphics card from Nvidia. Now I do not recommend you going for the 3070 since the RX 6800 is much better on gaming performance, and the RTX 3070 is going to be a 1440p graphics card. If you want to do 4K gaming, you can do actually, but it's not going to be as fast as the RX 6800. Yes, you get DLSS, ray tracing, and better features for content creation, but if you're doing gaming, the RX 6800 is much better for the price. So unless the RTX 3070 has a huge discount, which I highly doubt, I do recommend you going for the 6800. But if you really want to go for an Nvidia GPU, then the RTX 3070 is going to have a similar price. Now in terms of gaming performance, there's no game that you cannot run at least 60 FPS average, of course depending on the setting and the game that you want to play. And for that reason, I do recommend you going to YouTube and search different benchmarks for the RX 6800 i5-12400F combination. You can also search the Ryzen 5 5600X and the RX 6800 combo, because the i5-12400F and the Ryzen 5 5600X have both really similar performance for gaming, so you can search that as well if you cannot find the i5 6800 combo for your favorite game. But I do recommend you doing your own research to see the exact results that you are going to get for the price. Then for the case, I picked the Lian Li 205 from Edge Panel ATX mid tower case. The main reason it's the price. It's $106, but it already has 3 fans, which is going to help you out with the airflow overall, and on top of that you get that from Edge Panel. So I think that it's actually a really good case for the price. If you want, you can spend more, but I wouldn't spend any more on a gaming case. This one will be enough for the airflow overall, so temps will be great. And lastly, for the power supply, I went with the EVGA SUPERNOVA 650 watt 80 plus volt power supply. You can upgrade some stuff in the future with this power supply. Now if you feel like it's not enough, you can go with a 750 or even an 850 watt 80 plus core power supply, but for this particular build, the 650 watt option is going to be way more than enough. You really don't need anything more than this unless you're going to upgrade your PC with really high-end hardware in the future. So the price for this PC, it's 1268 bucks, and the only upgrades that I would make, especially if you're a content creator, is getting that i5 12400 instead of the 12400F or the 12600K. That is going to be much more expensive. And then the memory kit, maybe you want more RGB or maybe you want more RAM because maybe you want to do some streaming with a lot of tabs open, so I get that. Those are the only upgrades that I would recommend you doing if you're a content creator. But if you're just a gamer, I think that this PC is way more than enough for any resolution at least 60 FPS on average. And once again, if you're a gamer, the only thing that I would recommend you upgrading is the storage. If your favorite games are really heavy or you want to play a bunch of video games, then I would recommend you going with 2 TB of SSD. But other than that, this PC is great. I wouldn't spend more money just for gaming, especially if your favorite games are not high demanding, and even if they are, this PC is going to run them really good. Now that was the PC build. If you have any questions, let me know down below in the comment section and I will try to help you out as fast as possible. So let's say you have a lower budget or a higher budget, then let me know your budget down below in the description and I will help you out on what to upgrade or what to downgrade to have the best gaming experience for different budgets. Now you will need the proper monitor for this PC because you don't want to have a 1080p 60Hz monitor for a beast of a gaming desktop like this. That's why I will leave you my monitors video in the top right of the screen as well with the pre-built video, so you buy the right monitor so you don't waste any performance. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do like and subscribe, but most importantly hit that bell button so you get notified when I upload this type of content, which I do from 3 to 5 times a week. So thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support always, and I will see you on the next one.